Kaelith Veyra was a force of nature. Her hands, calloused from years at the forge, could mend both metal and bone with equal skill. She was a blacksmith's apprentice, orphaned young, but the wild valley had become her home. Her heart, though hardened by solitude, still held a fierce compassion for the creatures that shared her world. Kaelith stood tall against the wind, her dark hair whipping around her face. She wore a simple tunic and trousers, stained with soot and earth. A leather satchel hung across her shoulder, filled with tools and salves. She was the protector of Whispering Valley, a silent guardian against those who sought to harm its delicate balance. The sun dipped below the jagged peaks, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The wind whispered through the long grass, carrying the scent of rain and pine. Kaelith breathed it in, her senses alert to the valley's subtle cues. Her keen eyes caught a flash of red beneath a tangle of fallen branches. A fox, its leg twisted at an unnatural angle, whimpered softly. Kaelith approached cautiously, her hand outstretched to calm the creature's fear, but the fox was not alone. A hawk, its wing drooping, perched precariously on a nearby rock. Its beak was open, emitting a raspy cry. Further down the slope, a young deer lay tangled in thorns, its eyes glazed with pain. Kaelith's heart ached at the sight of their suffering. She had stumbled upon a scene of devastation, the aftermath of a struggle she could only imagine. Each creature bore its wounds with a quiet dignity, their spirits unbroken despite the pain. Kaelith knew she couldn't save them all, not on her own, but she refused to abandon them. Gently she examined each animal, her touch as light as the wind. The fox's leg was broken, that much was clear. The hawk's wing was likely dislocated, and the deer had deep gashes from the thorns. Kaelith reached into her satchel and pulled out strips of cloth, a flask of water, and her precious store of healing herbs. She worked quickly and efficiently, her blacksmith's hands surprisingly gentle as she cleaned their wounds and bandaged them with care. The animals, sensing her good intentions, gradually calmed in her presence. Their eyes, wide with fear only moments ago, now held a glimmer of hope. Section 5. Guardianship against the night. As darkness fell, the temperature plummeted. The forest, once a sanctuary of life and light, transformed into a realm of shadows and whispers. The cold air bit at Kaelith's skin, each breath visible in the frigid night. The wind, no longer a whisper, howled through the valley, carrying with it the scent of danger. Kaelith's senses sharpened. She could feel the storm brewing both in the sky and in her heart. The ominous dark clouds gathered, casting an eerie pall over the landscape. She could hear them, the wolves, drawn by the scent of blood and the promise of an easy meal. Their howls echoed through the trees, a chilling symphony of hunger and anticipation. The moonlight cast their silhouettes in stark relief against the dark forest. They circled her, their yellow eyes glowing in the darkness. Each pair of eyes was a beacon of primal instinct, a reminder of the wildness that lay just beneath the surface. The pack moved with a predatory grace, their intentions clear. Kaelith stood her ground, her own eyes meeting theirs without fear. She was a guardian, a protector, and she would not be easily swayed. Her resolve was as unyielding as the ancient trees that surrounded her. She pulled out her knife, its blade glinting in the moonlight. The weapon was an extension of her will, a symbol of her readiness to fight. The cold steel reflected her determination, a silent promise of what was to come. It was her against the pack, but she would defend her charges with her life. The standoff was tense, each side waiting for the other to make a move. Kaelith's protective stance was unwavering, a testament to her courage. The wolves, sensing her determination, hesitated. They were not used to such defiance, such strength in the face of their menace. Their hesitation was a small victory, a momentary reprieve in the battle of wills. They were predators, but they were also cautious. The pack assessed the situation, their instincts battling with the unfamiliar challenge before them. The forest seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the next move. Kaelith was not an easy target. Her fearless stance and unwavering gaze spoke volumes. She was a force to be reckoned with, a guardian against the night, ready to protect what was hers at any cost. Section 6. Seeking refuge. The first raindrops fell, heavy and cold. The wind howled louder, tearing at Kaelith's cloak. She knew she couldn't hold off the wolves forever, not in the open. She needed to get the animals to safety. There was a cave hidden among the rocks on the other side of the valley. It was a long shot, but it was their only hope. Gathering her courage, Kaelith scooped up the fox and the hawk. She urged the deer to its feet, speaking to it in soothing tones. The storm raged around them, but Kaelith pressed on, her determination fueled by the animals' trust in her. Section 7. The Forge of Healing. The cave was small, but it provided shelter from the wind and rain. It was a humble sanctuary, a place where the elements could not reach her. The sound of raindrops hitting the ground outside was a constant reminder of the storm she had escaped. Kaelith built a fire, its warm glow pushing back the darkness. The flickering flames brought a sense of comfort and security, casting dancing shadows on the cave walls. She watched the fire, feeling its warmth seep into her bones, driving away the chill of the night. She fed the animals, sharing her meager rations without hesitation. Each morsel was given with care, and the animals, sensing her kindness, approached her without fear. It was a silent communion, a bond forged in the quiet moments of shared sustenance. Over the next few days, the cave became her workshop, her forge of healing. She transformed the space, arranging her tools and supplies with meticulous care. It was a place of creation where her skills could be put to use in the service of those in need. She used her blacksmithing skills to craft a splint for the fox's leg, carefully setting the bone. Her hands moved with practiced precision, each motion deliberate and sure. The fox, though in pain, remained still, as if understanding that she was there to help. She fashioned a sling for the hawk's wing using leather and wood. The materials were simple, but in her hands they became instruments of healing. The hawk watched her intently, its sharp eyes following her every move as if recognizing the care she took. She cleaned and dressed the deer's wounds, watching for signs of infection. Her touch was gentle, her movements careful, ensuring that the deer felt as little pain as possible. The deer, once skittish, now stood calmly, trusting her completely. The animals, their pain easing, responded to her care with a trust that surprised even Kaelith. They seemed to understand that she was their protector, their healer. It was a bond that transcended words, a connection forged in the quiet moments of care and compassion. The fox, initially wary, now nestled beside her at night. Its presence was a comfort, a reminder that she was not alone. The bond they shared was one of mutual trust and respect, a silent understanding that they were in this together. The hawk perched on her shoulder, its sharp eyes watching her every move. It was a silent guardian, a watchful companion that never left her side. Together, they faced the challenges of each day, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. The deer, no longer skittish, followed her like a shadow. It was a testament to the trust she had earned, a sign that her efforts had not been in vain. As they moved through the wilderness, they did so as a family, bound together by the forge of healing. Section 8. A family forged in fire. Days turned into weeks and the valley began to heal. The once turbulent skies cleared, revealing a serene blue canvas. The sun's rays kissed the earth, bringing warmth and light to the once desolate landscape. The storm passed, leaving behind the scent of wet earth and fresh beginnings. The air was crisp, filled with the promise of renewal. Each droplet of rain seemed to whisper tales of resilience and rebirth. The animals under Kaelith's care grew stronger with each passing day. Their once frail bodies now moved with a newfound vigor, a testament to the nurturing environment she had created. The fox, its leg mended, tested its steps with tentative joy. Each cautious step was a victory, a small celebration of life and recovery. The hawk, its wing healed, soared into the sky, its cry a triumphant echo in the valley. It was a symbol of freedom, a beacon of hope for all who witnessed its flight. The deer, its wounds healed, bounded through the long grass, its eyes bright with life. It moved with grace and confidence, a living testament to the power of healing and care. Kaelith watched them, a rare smile gracing her lips. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that her efforts had brought about such profound change. They had come to her as broken creatures, victims of circumstance. Each one carried scars, both visible and hidden from their past ordeals, but together they had faced their fears, endured the storm, and emerged stronger than before. Their collective strength was a testament to their resilience and the bond they had formed. They were no longer just animals she had rescued. They had become companions, each one contributing to the harmony of their shared existence. They were a pack, a family forged in the fires of adversity. Their bond was unbreakable, strengthened by the trials they had overcome together, and Kaelith, the once solitary protector, had found a connection, a sense of belonging that she never thought possible. She had discovered a new purpose, a reason to keep moving forward. The valley, once silent, now echoed with the sounds of their newfound life, a symphony of resilience and hope. It was a place of healing, a sanctuary where life thrived against all odds.